The one airplane seat you should never choose. Life-threatening risk. You booked your flight, picked your seat, but what if that one simple decision puts your life at risk? Not all airplane seats are created equal. Some are uncomfortable, some have no legroom, but there is one seat that could be deadly, and chances are you've probably sat there before. Today, we're not just talking about comfort, we're talking about survival, and we'll start with a real story from 2009 that might change the way you choose your seat forever. On August 14, 2009, Flight 1887, a domestic flight from Chicago to Denver, experienced sudden and violent turbulence over the Midwest. It came without warning and lasted only 23 seconds. But in those 23 seconds, 4 passengers were injured, one of them critically. Guess where she was sitting? Row 31, seat F, rear window seat, right by the engine. The impact slammed her head against the sidewall. She wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and because the turbulence hit from the tail upward, the force concentrated at the very back of the plane. She survived, barely, but she never flew again. On March 1st, 2023, Lufthansa flight LH437 was en route from Austin to Frankfurt when it encountered extreme turbulence over Tennessee. 7 people were hospitalized. One passenger, seated at the very rear, suffered fractured ribs after slamming sideways into the cabin wall. He had unbuckled just moments before to reach for a bag. The turbulence came without warning. His seat, rear window, row 45, again, back of the plane. In 2019, Thai Airways flight TG321 hit clear air turbulence over the Bay of Bengal. Multiple passengers were injured, and one elderly woman seated in the last row was found unconscious by cabin crew. She had fallen sideways and hit her head on the window frame. The cabin crew needed over a minute to reach her due to food carts blocking the aisle. She was later diagnosed with a mild concussion and internal bleeding. So, what do all 3 incidents have in common? Rear window seats, unbuckled moments, slow crew access. The further back you sit, especially near windows, the more isolated and vulnerable you become. The old myth about the back being safer doesn't hold up in modern data, especially not during turbulence or evacuation scenarios. According to a comprehensive study by Time magazine analyzing 17 air crashes, passengers sitting near the tail had a 69% survival rate, while those in the front had only 49%. But that doesn't mean the rear is always safer. Why? Because survival isn't only about impact, it's about what happens after. Fire, smoke, delays in reaching exits. Rear passengers may survive the crash, but lose precious seconds during evacuation. Look, I'm not a pilot, but I've flown a lot, and for the last 6 years, I've never sat in a rear window seat. I always choose aisle seats, ideally near the wings. You know why? Because of what I saw on a flight in 2018. It was sudden turbulence. The guy behind me, back window, hit his head hard. He lost consciousness, slumped over, and blood was running down his forehead. The turbulence shocked everyone. Some screamed. Flight attendants didn't reach him for nearly a minute. Since that day, I never take that risk again. Middle seat over the wing, statistically safe in crash scenarios. Aisle seat near exits, best for fast evacuation. But truly, the safest seat is the one where you're buckled in, alert, and ready. Always wear your seatbelt, even when the sign is off. Avoid rear window seats, especially on long-haul flights. Choose structure and access over scenery. Fly smart, not romantic. What about you? Which seat do you usually choose? Tell me in the comments. Aisle, window, front, rear? Let's talk. And hey, if this video gave you even one useful tip, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more flight insights just like this one.